So I can't believe I'm doing this either, but we are back, perhaps for the last time, with the Detroit Red Wings. Of course, rebuilding Hockey Town version 2 in a way. The OHL only challenge based, initially on Americans only, and then that transitions to adding a few other teams, surrounding the border of the state of Michigan. And now, here we are, another playoff loss. We've certainly hit the point where this team can consistently make the playoffs, but we haven't hit the point where this team can get over the hump and make it all the way to the Stanley Cup Final. And because of that, we sit here, I don't want to say in disbelief, but certainly in frustration and disappointment at our current position. And now, with what this channel is going to be, I mean, the Ottawa series, I certainly plan on continuing. We now have One and Done, which is going to be, posted throughout the remainder of NHL 20's life cycle. So certainly this Detroit series is hanging on by a thread. And the only thing that keeps me coming back is just wondering, can this team somehow, some way, find a way? I don't know if they can. I don't think they can. And it's also a little bit of not wanting to be done before Jamie Drysdale is done. It's not often we end a series like this before our captain and face of the franchise ends up retiring. But that is exactly the situation that we're staring at here. Now, first round pick, 21st overall. That's where we are at the moment. And the question is, who's available? Now, obviously, we have not been selecting players from Barrie, but Marty Peckham from the Sioux Greyhounds appears to be the guy. If we are to stick with this again, I wish this dude from Sudbury was available. Mississauga. It's fairly straightforward. If we were to select anybody at this stage of the draft, it is going to be Peckham. Now, again, is this likely to be what leads us to success? Well, not really. But you know what? Screw it. We'll stick with it. Marty Peckham is the guy. And shockingly, he is a medium top 6. Unfortunately, I think we picked the worst possible year in terms of NHL games to do this challenge. I mean, and funny thing is, of course, it was the same way for the undrafted only challenge that we wanted to do, where in other years it certainly would have worked, but this year, with the way certain potentials happen to not develop, nearly impossible to pull off this challenge. And thus, here we are. Now, we have the 52nd pick, so we should be able to get Swift and then Linglet, as Caden Dorsett, we know, isn't really worth it, but Mason Swift, an overager, might be worth it. Apparently, no defined weaknesses, but he's a 65 medium 9, so no defined weaknesses, huh? I guess if you're not strong at anything, you technically can't have a weakness. I guess. That's this game's logic, I would say. Next up, indeed, we will get to draft Holden Linglet. He is an overager. We'll see. I mean, what'd that say? Pro release, so he should be half decent. He's not. He's not at all. Did that say... I know it wasn't confirmed, but did that dare say pro release? I can't even look at the player info. It's glitching out. I mean, 81 and a 70. Pro release, huh? Okay. I know that wasn't confirmed, but hot damn. Hot damn. Let's see who else we have here. So it's Dante Saugus, Scott Neal. I mean, there's just nobody available. Dante Saugus. See, another overager. My God. Not to mention in this series, just the RNG for us has been terrible in terms of getting good players from these teams. For the most part, it just has not gone our way. How I wish Amari Petrovich was available, but he is not. It's going to be Manny Bird, Ed Wotherspoon, one of the two. And we'll go for Ed, who isn't an overager. And we'll hope the Sioux center is half decent. He is a medium bottom 6. So yet again, no insurance is on the way for this team. No help. Nothing. Just left to just waste away. Cademan Lupul will be the pick in the 6th round. Absolutely awful. And then pick number 207. Shout out to Maine. Damn. I want to see what the team looks like heading into the preseason. If some way, somehow, some way, it looks all right and we haven't been decimated by regression, maybe we give it a shot. Otherwise, we wave the white flag with this team. Not something that I want to do. But certainly at this stage of these drafts, we're not going to be getting the help into the team that we necessarily need to find the success that we are looking to achieve. As we look here at the goaltenders, low, you have Morgan, Lennox, Lankow's looking to be signed, which is fine. Can sign him up, no problem. McTaggart will be dropped. We already have Baldwin, who's in the same ballpark. I didn't even bother seeing when he was drafted. Bobolev will be signed as well, so we'll have 6 goalies. Here's the thing. We have Alan Morgan out of nowhere. And who's to say? And maybe it's a bit much to rest all of my hopes and dreams on the shoulders of a 22-year-old goaltender. But maybe, just maybe, Alan Morgan is the man between the pipes that we need. Or maybe, just maybe, he'll break my damn heart. It could happen. As you see these, this team is just where medium top 4 defensemen went to die, apparently. How many of these guys failed to improve? Go figure, Justin Madsen doesn't want to re-sign. I don't even really want to re-sign him. Massive disappointment he's been at times. We'll give Aiden Recchi a slight raise. We'll see if Reed Neal just signs. Cap-wise, too. This is going to be pretty close by the end of it. Madsen rejects. Bobolev signs. Neal rejects. Recchi rejects. Almost everybody just rejected a new contract. So if that doesn't show you where we're at right now, I don't know what does. We have players rejecting contracts that I'm honestly surprised they dare reject. What a horrible, horrible situation we find ourselves in here. I can't help but think that the run's over. And, it was pointed out in the comments, like, oh, you haven't had too much optimism at times in this series. I wonder why. I wonder why we haven't been too optimistic at points. It's just been sucker punch to the gut after sucker punch to the gut. As for defensemen here, we'll go ahead and sign Steos. Why not? Foligno, we're going to drop he and Krog. Jaden Foligno, 6th round pick. Krog, a 4th round pick. In the same draft, we'll go ahead, as I mentioned, and drop those 2. Goran will look to bring back. No guarantees that he signs. For the forwards again, Madsen's going to be looking for like $9 million. You watch. We hit the end of this. We can't re-sign. We can't re-sign Jamie Drysdale, and then maybe, just maybe, this one's over. Just like that. Reed Neal's looking for $7 million. There's just no way we're going to be able to keep this team together, is there? Hayden Fowler's now under an 80 overall, but still looking for a decent amount of money. Hayden Fowler's 33. That's how far into this series we've gone. Harvey Brennan's not worth that, but I got to look to keep him. And then just for the hell of it, down here at the bottom, there's Bigras, Caleb Bigras, 5th round pick 2 years ago. Obviously no reason to sign him. There is Pablo Shore, 7th round pick 2 years ago. No reason whatsoever to sign him. We will sign Hallweg, who could be half decent. And then from there, it's kind of a tough sell. Let's see what happens here. terms of the re-signings, Madsen rejects, Goran signs, Neal signs, Steos, Recchi, Vigilante, Fowler, Brendan rejects, Sasaki, McGrath, Delmas all signed. So we had to hand out a lot of money. We only have $30 million left. We have $30 million left to spend. Whew. Alright, well, let's see if we can get the job done. Justin Madsen, continuing to be a gigantic pain in the ass. Harvey Brennan, not that I want to bring you back either, but damn it, we'll try. At 225. Burish has been okay at times. No reason, I guess, to not bring him back. We'll try to bring back Comrie and Pino and just see what we have with this roster. So Brian Pino, we'll sign you. Terrell, I guess, I mean, you're 25, but we'll bring you back. Bufflin, not looking like it's going to be all that good, but we'll try to bring him and Zhao back as well. Let's see what happens. Hopefully Madsen rejects again. Comrie, Bufflin, Zhao, Terrell rejects. Let's just spam through. 3 players left to sign. $29 million to do it. Imagine Terrell rejecting a contract. Like, you have to be kidding me. Still try to sign him. Justin Madsen might be one of my least favorite players in channel history for how incredibly disappointing he has been at times. Will he sign? He does, as does Terrell. $21 million to sign Jamie Drysdale with. This menu is glitched out. There we go. Just have to back out of it. Whew. So we'll sign Jamie Drysdale. I hate to say it, but it is certainly looking like this team is going to be worse than they were last year. You know, we have some players that are regressing, whether it just be naturally or kind of because of morale. It's just such a weird spot to be in right now. We're going to lose a coach here for the moment. It's just an AHL assistant. I'm not too worried. Lose a couple of actual scouts as well. But this is... oh, this is problematic for sure. We'll look at the coaching staff again. Not too worried about the AHL roster. We still have a top-notch coaching staff. We'll make Tyler Bozak the AHL head coach. And that should do it for now. We have 18 scouts in the OHL. I'm going to punch my headset across my desk. Let's sim to the beginning of the season. Let's see where we're at. Do we have a hope in hell with this team if we were to go for one more round? I mean, I certainly hope so, but goddamn, it sucks. I hate to quit if I feel like we have a chance. Part of me feels like we have a chance, but you can never say for sure. And I said that I don't know how many times leading up to this, that, you know, all the times that I mentioned where, okay, we're in the playoffs, it's got to be now because you don't know how many chances you're going to get. Well, now, here we are, and it's looking like that window has slammed shut. We're listed as rebuilders in the preseason. Goalie-wise, it would be Lowe and Morgan. Tristan Lennox is regressing. His time is done at 32 years old. It would have to be Lowe and Morgan. Defensively, I mean, Delmas has taken a bit of a step up, as has McInnes. So it's Drysdale, Bales, McInnes, McGrath, Suter, Vigilante, Sasaki, who are all good enough. I guess we could go off of chemistry. And then forward-wise, not a single player over a 90. We have 10, 11, and 12 with Fowler. And any of those 76s could also be good enough to make the roster. So I guess the question is, what would this defense look like first and foremost? Vigilante fits the team. McGrath fits the team. Khalil Suter is not a great fit for the team, if we're being honest, nor is Angelo Delmas. We could play Delmas with Drysdale. We wouldn't get the most out of it, and really Delmas isn't going to improve. So you're looking at like a Delmas-Suter third pairing. It's not going to have the best chemistry. And then McGrath, Bales, Vigilante, you know, these are guys that we've played before. It has McInnes out by default. he's a decent fit for the first line. We have no idea how Edgar Sasaki fits this defense at this point in time. So say we sub in Sasaki for Khalil Suter. He's actually a decent fit for any of the above lines, but the lowest overall option. And then Adam McInnes, we'll go ahead and get him into the lineup. And I think it would be, I mean, you'd have to play McInnes with Drysdale. It's not the best line chemistry, and that's the question, right? If we were to continue, what's the best spot for McInnes? You know, play him in the AHL on the top line. I mean, you know, we'd have to play him here, even though he doesn't have the best chemistry. Play him with Drysdale. Play Bales with Vigilante. Play Delmas potentially with McGrath or with Suter, who I'm not really worried about getting to develop at this point. He is listed as a top 6 defenseman somehow at a 78. Maybe we take out Vigilante and just don't worry as much about the potential or as about the chemistry, because Suter could at least be somewhat decent. I guess we go McGrath, Bales, Delmas, Suter, McInnes, Drysdale. That's not brutal, and we could technically get a slightly better chemistry on it if we were to change up some of the player types. But aside from that, it's I mean, it's really one of the best versions of a defense that we've had so far in the series, as absolutely sad as that is. As absolutely sad as that is, it is one of the best versions of this team, you know, particularly of this defense, that we would have ever been able to put out there. Let's see if I can call up Maldine here. I can't. So let's see how the rest of the team would fill in and really see what we'd be looking at here in terms of optimizing chemistry. So, I mean, Hoffman at a 77. We'd want to try the 77s first and foremost, just to have the best overall we possibly could. Hoffman fits in on that fourth line. Fowler's best use as a fourth liner at this point, as is Harvey Brennan. And you see there, if we were to have all grinders, it could easily be a +5. As I believe Fowler should still be able to get us there. But technically, with McCauley being as good as he is on the third line, Hoffman as well, it's tough to say who would be better suited there. I mean, McCauley's such a weird player. He just doesn't have any offensive awareness. Otherwise, he'd be pretty decent. Reed Neal's also a good fit for the bottom 6, so a third line spot's good for him. Honestly, a third line spot's good for Recchi, but a second line spot works. As for Madsen and Cashman, we just don't have a great fit for that top line. This coach just isn't a perfect fit. Just doesn't gel incredibly well with a lot of the players that we have. Is there another coach out there, I guess, is the question, that we could potentially give a shot to, or with Brulette or Weissmuller. There's also Couturier, but we've had him before. Aiden Couturier, there he is, looking like Kevin Bacon's cousin. 58% scheme fit. Chen's at a 60. A 60, we got a 64 from Young. Is there anybody better than a 64 in terms of fitting this team? A 66 from Sidhu at a B-. Is there anybody who better suits this team? For the moment, I can actually demote you to the AHL, promote Brulette to NHL head coach. So Brulette is our head coach, is at a 53. So that's definitely not happening. Weissmuller is at a 52. So that is definitely not happening. I'll check that AHL coach that we had in a second, actually. Here, let's do that now. It's actually not even that good. Corazzini, he was just a fill-in. What about Tyler Bozak? How well does Tyler Bozak fit the NHL team? I am intrigued. Is Tyler Bozak going to be the new head coach of this squad? No, he's not. Well, I guess we got our answer in terms of who the head coach is going to be. And, yeah, I guess we have an answer, right? And it's got to be that B- option in God, what the hell even was his name at this point? He was very far down here. Sidhu. I guess Sidhu would be the guy at a 66. A B- head coach. A B- head coach. You know what? We're going to do it. We are going to optimize this coaching staff as best we can. We are going to optimize the lines as best we can. And the next episode of this series will be the last. No matter what, the finale comes up next. We will sim the full season. We will sim the playoffs. One more shot before we end this series and focus our attention fully on one and done for the rest of NHL 20. The Wings, Mom's Spaghetti, one shot, one opportunity. Don't miss your chance. Let's be honest, you've never missed your chance to blow. This team sucks. But maybe, just maybe, they can win a cup on the way out.